Bottom Nation, I'm back from Edinburgh, and I'm in the apartment. And this week we're having gay sex with Lesley Hart. You probably, unless you are from Scotland, you probably don't know who Lesley is. But Lesley is very famous in Scotland for being on a huge TV show called Riverside and a bunch of other things. She's also a brilliant playwright. I met her after my show, honestly, and just the way she was speaking to me, I was like, what do you do? You're an artist. You're an interesting person. And we hit it off immediately. And then I found out that she got recognized in the courtyard right in front of me. And our conversation was so thrilling for me as maybe an elder queer. We get into closeted relationships when you're young, finding your person later on because it was so difficult when you were younger. I mean, this is like really vulnerable, but also really hilarious stuff. I absolutely loved it. And you're going to love her too. As always, donate to the Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/WHGS. You can give us as little as $1. I'm going to be putting my show from Edinburgh up there. And I'm going to St. Louis and Wisconsin this weekend. And then I've got Houston, Tampa, Orlando. So many coming up. Burlington, Vermont, I think. A bunch of upstate New York. So many. Get a text from me when I tour your city. I had a few people come up to me this week being like, oh, I love the pod. And I was like, oh, where are you from? Oh, you should come to Berlin. I've been to fucking Berlin. Enjoy the episode, guys. Ooh, little nippy, little chilly bottom. Crawl into your bed and lay down on that comfy Helix mattress. It will cradle your body so perfectly. I know, because it cradles mine so perfectly. I've been sleeping on my Helix for a while now. I absolutely love it. If you're nervous about getting a mattress, don't be. There is a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to back you up on that purchase. Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/gaysex. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
We had this experience together. This could all be dismissed as student experimentation until a few years later when it did happen again. I don't know, we'd meet up and get drunk and that would happen again.
Okay, you were drunk.
But then sometimes it would go on for a few days. Like if we were
That is the most lesbian thing I've ever. Oh, we just had sex for 72 hours.
Yeah. Because I think we sort of knew it might be a few years before we got to do it again. Anyway, it was all still like it was all still.
And that's also okay, dude. I was just saying to Lesley that I'm very nervous and woefully ill-prepared because
same.
You are obviously someone of great influence whose work I had no idea existed.
Oh,
and
God.
That's always a weird position to be in, Because when Lesley came to see my show, and then your wife.
I mean, hopefully one day. No, girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, I just assumed she was your wife.
Well, I
mean,
you
guys were so great together.
Oh, we are. She's amazing.
How long have you been together?
18 months.
Oh my God.
Just trying to kind of keep the brakes on and not do the whole.
I thought you'd been together for a lifetime.
I mean, if it was up to me, we'd have been married on like day 3.
Gorgeous.
She's amazing. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
She's so beautiful. Yeah. She gets mistaken for like Princess Giselle from Enchanted quite a lot.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, which is really annoying for
me.
By
children,
because,
I'm assuming.
Not always. There was, oh my God, there was this one time. Like, I mean, I'm a bit of a nobody. I hope you've not got the wrong idea. But I've been on the TV in Scotland and in the UK and
so that's what your wife started. What's your wife's name? No, not
Allison.
Your wife. Your girlfriend.
Can we call her
Allison.
my wife? I like
your
that.
wife, Allison.
My wife, Allison. Yeah.
Princess Giselle, your wife.
Yeah.
She started hyping you up.
Yeah.
And at first I was like,
yeah,
okay, sure. Then I was like, oh, this is real. Lesley is. We're not in the apartment. We are having gay sex with Lesley Hart. And we are in a green room at the Pleasance Courtyard in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
But after my show, you came to my show. Your wife / girlfriend is hyping you up in the courtyard.
Yeah.
And I started putting it together because she was hyping you up. But then the things that you said to me about my show, which, by the way, I was very flattered, but I could tell from the way that you were speaking, oh, I'm talking to an artist. This person is an artist.
Oh my God.
This person is a thoughtful, good artist. Because you can tell by how people critique your work. How... I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? The way people talk about art.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. I've been doing this so long now. So I'm like 45, nearly 46.
I'm 36. I'm not as young as people think I am.
I thought you were younger than that, but then it's the kind of the sort of 12-year-old boy
yes
sort of does lead you to think that.
I have been blessed with good skin and immaturity.
Yeah, I was really worried I was scared I'd be too old for this.
No.
That I wouldn't know the terminology. Like
That's not what this podcast is about.
No. It does irk me though when it doesn't irk me, but it's funny when I'm out with Alison, my wife, and there was one time we were out at a Turkish restaurant and I was with my friend as well. So Alison, my wife, my friend Sally, who like me is like, we're on the telly in Scotland. We're not famous. Like we wouldn't get recognised much outside of Glasgow really. But we're both, this was a restaurant in Glasgow. We're both actually police officers on the telly. Well, I mean,
right.
my character's
you're
dead.
On a show that has been on for a very long time.
Yeah.
That's quite famous here in the UK.
Just in Scotland.
Scotland.
Just called River City.
Called River City.
And
tell people about the show just so that they understand.
Right.
I'm going to check the cameras while you do it.
Okay.
I'll be doing this periodically.
River City is it's a soap. It's about a bunch of families, a small community, a certain part of Glasgow, kind of working class Glasgow. You've got just your typical kind of soap characters, your matriarchs, your gangster, your
Scottish gangster.
Scottish gangster, yeah, the Scottish gangster. He's kind of the most popular character in the show. And I was playing a sort of hot mess lesbian cop, which was a really great fun and a real treat to get to do. And I think it was the first.
Actually, for our Gen Z piece of shit listeners, let me just say all cops are bastards, ASCAB, including your character.
I was a bastard. Sometimes,
just piece of shit.
Like I went evil at one point as well, because that's what.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So it is a realistic portrayal.
I went bad. Yeah, I broke bad for a bit and then came back again.
I will say, when I'm auditioning, I don't audition a lot. I have not had much acting work. I've been in a couple commercials. Nothing crazy.
What for?
One was for an app. Right. And then I've done like branding stuff online for various sex toys and all kinds of weird stuff.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know that the app ever even saw the commercial saw the light of day. I don't even know if the company is still incorporated. But when I audition, I have auditioned a lot. And I do pretty well. I get callbacks and stuff like that, but I've never booked. And the one thing I go in for over and over and over again, cop.
Yeah.
There is something about being a lesbian that you are perfect to play cop.
But I loved it though. I loved putting the uniform on and like strapping on the stab vest and I kind of that sense of power.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Stab vest.
Yeah. Totally. And I once tasered someone. And that was that's as extreme as it got because obviously no guns.
Right. No, there's no gun. You guys are kind of pussies over here. Our cops
totally
need a bulletproof head to toe Kevlar in order to survive in America.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we police by consent. It's just a slightly different relationship.
Okay. And you guys wear cute little hats too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. And there's used to be this law in the UK that. We've got these really impractical kind of cone head hats, like for the men, and not in Scotland, but in England.
I have seen that.
Yeah, and there was this law that if you needed a piss, you could, and it's illegal to piss outside. You could get arrested for that. But if you needed a piss, you could stop one of those cops and ask them for their hat, and you could piss in the hat. And that was, that was something that you're entitled to do.
If we had that in America, I actually think that could solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I just saw you get recognized in the square. You're a big deal here.
Like, I'm not.
Your girlfriend must have been so fucking stoked to meet you.
Well, she didn't know that like I was on the telly or anything.
Perfect.
No, because I didn't put anything in my bio on Tinder. Tinder was how we met. I remember once some woman like really had a go at me that I was chatting to for not having a bio. And I sort of explained, I was like, oh, people can screenshot things and shame you. And like that shit can get shared around the internet and it's...
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, you will. Oh my God, you must be.
I'm very aware.
You must be constantly aware and concerned about that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I just put my pictures up and none of them are like, they're just dead normal pictures and most people don't watch that TV show, so it should be fine. But
I love that you're like, I'm hot enough to go on pictures alone.
But like, I got totally burned by this woman who was like, well, I work in TV too, and I think you should put a bio. I think it's really disrespectful and all that. And we were like having this like banter.
Is she on River City though? Is she on River City?
No, like she made documentaries or something.
Okay, she can go fuck herself. No one's watching documentaries.
But she was a total bitch. But it's sort of like,
is it Blackfish? Because if it's not Blackfish, I haven't watched it.
Blackfish?
It's just a famous documentary about orca whales.
All right.
And it's several years old. It's really dated. What's a better documentary?
No, she did.
See, that's the point. I can't even name a famous documentary.
Yeah, no, but like, yeah, she was being a bitch about it. But then we sort of arranged to meet anyway, and I didn't end up meeting her. But there was something about that, like, she was really hostile, and it turned me on a little bit. But I need to avoid people like that.
You and I are the same. This is Yanis. He does the sound for my show.
Oh right.
We have a little. Oh, he might need help.
Okay.
Do you need help, Yanis? Would you like to make a brief appearance on my podcast? Come. You're going to just look into this camera over here. Come next to me and squat. This is Yanis, my sound guy. Saves my ass every show whenever anything's wrong.
Hello. Nice to meet all of you.
Do you want to drop your handle?
It's Yanis Cove. YIANNISCOVE.
He's a comedian, so follow him.
I have my own podcast.
Oh my God, what's your plug your podcast?
Everyone's a Critic.
Beautiful. Yeah, oh my God. And are you gay or queer or anything?
I'm not.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. He's great.
Yeah.
We do a little bit at the end of every show when the Lion King song comes on.
Oh yeah.
We do like a little song and dance about that. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, God.
You met this hostile woman who turns you on.
Oh yeah. But that was kind of the end of that. We didn't end up meeting, but there was something about like it's the first time I've actually just like got into this sort of chat on Tinder.
Yeah.
And it's been a row. Like we were arguing from the get-go, and I was like telling her, who the fuck do you think you are and all that, and I was like, I just think you're being really, and then I laid into her, and then she was like, right, okay, I'm only here for another day or two. Do you want to meet or not? And I was like, yeah, all right. Like, okay, like what do you want to do? Like, what are you going to do? But we didn't meet, and it's probably for the best. I need to
probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but that's
thank
really
God
funny.
I've got my wife now.
There is something about a woman who's mean to you.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah. That can really turn you on in a probably not healthy way.
Oh my God, no, that runs deep for me, because even though when I was like little, which like back in the fucking 80s, there was a girl at school who was horrible. She was awful. She was a proper, like, really horrible, nasty, calculated, cold psychopath. Bitch. Total bitch. And beautiful, and I hated her. I hated her, but I was
beautiful, and I hated her so much. But I was so wet every time I spoke to her.
Oh my God, I was obsessed with her. I always knew where she was. And I thought she'd ruined my life, and actually, like, she shaped my whole youth, because she was like, we had this rivalry for everything, for like sports and like results at school and all that. Like, I feel like she drove my ambition, because like I just wanted to beat her, because she was such a bitch and she was horrible to me. And
I loved her. I loved her.
Well, I mean,
so
in
much.
hindsight, when I finally realized,
was she gay at all? How old were you?
I don't know.
I
mean, like, this is like I haven't seen her since I was 16, but yeah, she was huge in my life.
She's listening right now. I'm pretty sure she's a patron.
Oh my God, I don't know, but in hindsight, it's funny, like, because I was late-ish blooming. I mean, I say that, I just took a while. I was having gay sex when I was a student, but it was a secret. Like, and then
Of
and it
course.
wasn't. And then I had a couple of boyfriends, and I was like 29 till before I actually opened myself up fully to the idea of a girlfriend. And as soon as I did that, I very quickly pursued one.
It's honestly, I interview, not to call out your age, but I interview mostly people. I've had a couple people over 40, over 50 on the pod. Most of the time, the people that people are requesting are little teeny boppers.
Yeah.
Like I've interviewed Chapel Roan. I don't
Who's
know if
that?
you know Chapel Roan.
No,
What a
sorry.
universe to live in.
Yeah, like I don't know anything much about popular culture. Like I'm not good at the internet.
I love
like,
it.
I'm fucking ancient.
Yeah, and you're not just an actor, you're a playwright.
I'm a playwright. Yeah.
You
But
do
I
a
just
lot
feel
of
like
amazing
there's
things.
like I don't know whether it's the Scottish cringe or whatever. You just feel like you're playing at shops, and it's like I said, it's been like I graduated 24 years ago, and so I've been doing this a long time, and I'm probably perimenopausal. Like doctor says no, but like everything's gone haywire. So I've been having these moments of going like I should feel I've done my 10,000 hours and then some. I've probably done about 20 or 30,000 hours.
Yeah.
At what I do, but I still feel like I'm nothing. I know nothing. I've got no idea, and so it's weird to kind of for you to say I'm influential. I don't know that.
Well, I know that because you got recognized twice in the courtyard.
Yeah,
But I will say fame is a weird thing. It is. There's a couple sort of transcendent Timothy Chalamets in the world, but for the most part, it's regional, right? Like it's within a niche or within a community.
Yeah.
So like I am famous to white bisexual women between the ages of 15 and 30. That's
Right,
who knows who I am. And their boyfriends. Everyone else, maybe the lesbians too, but everyone else is, I'm only beginning to crack the surface of that world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you're famous to women who stay at home and watch River City.
Yeah. I mean that's about it. Like I've done a lot of theatre and I've done a lot of Edinburgh festivals and like and a bit and a fair bit of TV, but like I'm best known for River City.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like within the industry, like because I've been around for so long and it's
People
a bit
know
of a
you.
village. Yeah, like but that's just because it's a small pond.
This episode was 100% sponsored by gay people like you, listener. Go to patreon.com/WHGS. You can get up to 4 bonus episodes a month, and that includes our full backlog, plus the live stream of my comedy show, plus a ton of other bonus content. It's the best way to keep this podcast going, and if you donate $1 today, that would have been more helpful for us than listening to the ads. So consider donating $1. And if you're on the fence, here's a little taste of what you'll see on the Patreon.
One thing leads to another, and I'm eating Karina out on the couch while this guy watches and jerks off. This night got me to realize that 1, I had a massive crush on Karina, and 2, that I ultimately love pussy. We continued being friends until she started using the N-word.
Oh my God.
The moral of the story is to make sure the person you have a crush on and have a threesome with isn't a racist.
One more time, that's patreon.com/WHGS.
There are so many little things that you've touched on that I think we can dive into. Normally, I tell a gay sex story.
Right.
And then I will ask you if you have had gay sex this week after my gay sex story.
Okay, cool.
I will say I runneth dry. I'm having, when I came over here, I had bronchitis for 3 weeks. I didn't really talk about it because I didn't want anyone to be scared. You know, when
Have
you're
you
sick.
had sex with bronchitis before?
No.
Maybe because it started before I left America.
Right. Because it's breathing and stuff.
Yeah, it's
tough.
breathing.
Yeah.
And I had this weird cough that would just come and I'd have a coughing fit.
Uh-huh.
but like I didn't really feel bad. I just had this coughing fit.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got really congested.
Right.
And then I was coughing so hard I threw up in my mouth.
Oh God.
Which is disgusting, and I'm sorry that I had to share that with
That's
you.
all right.
Also, I've been, I'm here, I'm eating a lot of Indian food.
Right, yeah. Good. It's good Indian food.
It's
here.
good.
Mhm.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It has some side effects on my body that's not used to that much Indian food.
Right, yeah.
So I pulled these muscles in my ribs. I've been eating a lot of Indian food. I'm congested. I'm not at my prime. I'm also like, I'm a lazy whore.
Right.
Have you done the Fringe, like a full run?
Yeah.
I am after my show, I'm wired.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm wired in a way that I haven't ever been wired.
Right.
I don't know if it's because the show is so emotional.
Mhm.
Maybe it's the time change. I'm not going to bed until 3, 4, 5 in the morning sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I'm sleeping till like 3 p.m. I'm not super showering a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kind of like, I'm a disgusting little orb
Yeah.
because I'm out of my routines.
Yeah.
Does this resonate
Yeah,
at all?
totally. I mean,
Am I disgusting, or is this sort of
no,
common?
I mean, like, and do you know what? It's good
normal?
that you don't drink or take drugs or anything.
No.
Do you know? Because if you did that would make that would totally exacerbate
Oh my God, I
that,
can't even, the
like,
people who
times
are
a
going out
million.
and, yeah.
I remember going to see Doug Stanhope years ago, and it was like towards the end of the festival.
I love you.
And he's,
I didn't realize he did this festival.
I mean, like,
That's actually crazy to imagine Doug Stanhope at this festival.
yeah, he just won the Perrier Award when it was the Perrier Award. And I went to see him, and he was like barely speak, because he said, I've had so much ecstasy this week. Everyone keeps giving me ecstasy. And it was amazing that he could get to the end of a sentence. I was like,
When
you're
was
a fucking
this?
rock star. This would have been, 20 years ago.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And he was still really funny, but he was just like that fucking pasty face sort of, oh God. And he'd already won the Perrier, but yeah, he was brilliant. But yeah, so I thought, you've been fringed. Like he had been completely, he just said yes to everything.
Right.
To all the parties. And of course, there's so much staying up all night if you're doing comedy. I'm not a stand-up. I mean, I'm like, am I the only non-stand-up that's ever been on this podcast?
No, I've had influencers from reality television.
Oh, right, yeah.
I've had musicians. I've had songwriters.
Oh, great.
I'm trying to think if I've had civilians. I've had 1 or 2 people who are just people. They have a regular job.
Yeah.
But they had something interesting to me that I thought, that's a great story.
Yeah. Last year I did the Full Fringe, and it was a play about, it was in the International Festival, but it was on at the Traverse, and we were wrestlers. We did this.
So a lesbian show.
Did this Highland Games. It's called Backhold Wrestling. It's fucking primal medieval stuff.
Yeah, describe it.
So you basically, it's like a hug. You kind of you clasp your
wear?
hands, a kilt.
Yep.
And a vest and bare feet.
Okay.
And it's you just got to try and flip each other onto the ground.
So you have each other. You're locked in
like that, chin on
grabbing
right
your
shoulder.
hands. Oh, okay.
And then you kind
And
of
you
you've got
can't
to
release.
flip each other, and you've got to try and trip each other. It's like trying to, it's a bit like just wrestling. It's like kind of schoolyard wrestling.
Can you let go of your hands, or you have to maintain that position?
No, you have to maintain that position.
And what happens if you let go? Do you lose?
You lose, yeah.
Okay.
So, and I was playing the coach. I didn't I'd sort of, I got cast in this role and then got busy doing other things for a while. And then it was sort of a few days before rehearsal.
You know what?
What?
Cop, coach is another great role for lesbians in the acting world.
Yeah.
So many things that we can do.
I love that.
You know what we can't play? Lesbians.
Yeah. I mean, I've played a couple, but not. Yeah, I mean,
I prefer to have Rachel McAdams in there. I think.
Who's Rachel McAdams?
Are you joking?
Tell me something she's been in. I'm not
The
good with
Notebook.
No, I've not seen it. I'm sorry. Like this will go on like this. My wife, my girlfriend wife is worse. Like
I love that you're calling her your wife now.
Oh my God.
This is aspirational.
Totally. This is I'm
if you don't marry your
it.
wife, I will.
Oh God. Okay. Like I'm gonna ask her tonight. I'm not. I mean,
she's so charming.
She is. She's gorgeous. She's that niche thing. Like honestly, the tangents, but she's that niche thing. It took me a while to work it out. She's a Disney princess lesbian.
Yeah,
it's
she
very
is.
niche.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find other Disney princess lesbians. Well, she found you, like, because we came to see you because it was her birthday, and she was like, "I want to go and see Ashley Gavin." I was like, "Who?" Sorry, no offense.
I didn't know
like,
who Lesley Hart was.
No,
and
I mean
you're
most
huge.
people don't.
You're massive.
So, I mean,
number one cop coach.
Oh God.
Actor in Scotland.
Yeah, well, and that show was knackering. Like I had to do a full speech while skipping. We were like doing WWF sequences and all that. It was like, and loads of wrestling, loads of jumping around and all that. And I'm like, back then, I was 44, nearly 45 then, and that doesn't come into it, but it was fucking exhausting. And every day I was completely wiped after it.
Well, I'm doing not even close to that.
Yeah.
And I'm on I think I told you this outside. On Tuesday, I was totally fine up until Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, I was like, I'm done. That was my last show.
Tuesday,
I mean, it's not. I have
two
more
days
shows.
ago.
Yeah.
Because we saw you. Oh, it was on Saturday. That was amazing. It was brilliant. I agree with Broadway World, by the way. I was getting past your poster and I saw that, what was it? Like something about,
it may have been Gavin turns tragedy into comedy, like water into wine.
That's
might have
it.
been
Water
the
into
quote.
wine. She called you, like whoever it was, Jesus. It's like basically, you're the second coming, the Messiah. I felt that too.
I don't totally disagree. Yes, Yanis, you have something to say? Oh, we can let them in. Whatever. But that's really nice. The show was good.
It was great.
It was fun.
And and I was crying. I was laughing. I wasn't crying all the way through. But I was crying. You kind of you kind of pulled the rug from under me.
Sorry about that.
No, it's great. That's brilliant. That's what you want, is to be surprised. There's nothing worse than knowing that, like, what you're going to get is something that's I mean, I think that there is there's a lack of surprise in shows.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about this, I can't stand this sort of culture of PSA, public service announcement style theater that sort of is like, this is the thing that we're supposed to be doing, and I'm going to educate you on that, and it lacks like honesty.
Yeah.
You know,
you need to explode little grenades in the audience and have people kind of like either recognize their hypocrisy or just sort of have them kind of connect with something like that they weren't expecting to connect with. So I think I was crying at the bit you were talking about, like your 3-year relationship with a girl who...
Oh, my 8th grade relationship, or the second one?
No, the one that you were both in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Like what you
this is very nice, by the way. We can stop this at any point. We can stop
this. I'm not here to flannel you. Like
I'll take it.
We're supposed to be talking about sex.
Well, we'll get there, or maybe we won't.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you. You met your wife.
Yeah.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah, on Tinder.
Is she bisexual?
No.
She's full lesbian.
Yeah, but I mean, like it took her a while to discover that, because of, like, when you're our age, she's 5 years younger than me. I mean, I like to think she's the same age. And you know, you're growing up like,
same
and
generation.
you're a Disney princess. Like, nobody,
Totally.
It doesn't occur to anyone to sort of maybe suggest that maybe the reason you're feeling certain ways is because you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
So.
Listener, it's gorgeous right now, but soon it will be cold and you will be sad. And don't you want a place to rest? How about a Helix mattress? I love my Helix mattress. It's a great place to cry and to get amazing sleep. I've been sleeping on my Helix mattress for a few years now. It's the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life, and it knows me well. That's why it's kind of nice to cry into, because it knows me. I went to helixsleep.com/gaysex. I took a 2-minute quiz, and it spat out the perfect mattress for me. It cradles my lumbar. It keeps me cool. But most of all, it has empathy for my situation. And don't just take it from me. Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. If you're stressed, don't be. There's a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty. Helix is offering 25% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/gaysex. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
So you were saying you were semi in love with this girl who was horrible to you.
Oh God, yeah, that was when I was at school. Yeah. In hindsight, I recognized that that's what it was. At the time, I just thought I was obsessively hated her.
And you said you had secret relationships in school?
No, well, when I was at drama school, yeah.
Okay, so when you were in your
when I was 19, 20.
Okay.
And
that's at a level that I wasn't even. I had secret relationships in middle school, high school.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I went to college, I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
And me and the girl that I was dating, we were out on campus.
Yeah.
But you didn't feel comfortable at that point.
No, I mean, like, I suppose not. But
were there gay couples on campus around you? Drama school?
There's a lot of people experimented. Like, but it was the late 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a kind of like an excitement about exploring things, but
my first gay kiss was 2002.
Oh,
so
yeah. I mean, I had a boyfriend at that point. Like, I think this is the thing. We had this experience together, and then we graduated, and we didn't tell anyone. I lived on my own, so she was just always around at my house, and we didn't really talk to each other about it either. So. Although I remember one time, like, my mum came to visit, and
pause. You guys are roommates. Am I hearing that right? Or she just hung out all the time?
Like, she just like she just would come round and visit me.
Your friends,
my friend who I was having sex with.
Right. So you'd have sex, and you'd never bring up the fact that.
I think it was a bit of a game at the time, or that's how we looked at it. Now, this could all be dismissed as sort of like just a bit of like student experimentation, but then it would go. We sort of left it in 2000, the year I graduated, and then like it didn't happen again until a few years later when it did happen again, and then every so often it would, we would have, I don't know, we'd meet up and get drunk, and that would happen again.
Okay, you were drunk.
And then
I think it's a little easier to say, what was that? When you're drunk.
But then sometimes it would go on for a few days. Like if we were yeah. There was like one time, like I went to
with a man. If you're having sex for a few days, that's lesbian sex.
I know. I went to stay overnight and ended up staying for 3 days.
Most sapphic thing I've ever. I love having you here for a laugh track. By the way, when you're laughing, I know I'm killing. So thank you. That is the most lesbian thing. I'm going to check the cameras just one more time because I'm self-producing right now. But that is the most lesbian thing I've ever. Oh, we just had sex for 72 hours.
Yeah. Because I think we sort of knew it might be a few years before we got to do it again. Anyway, it was all still like it was all still.
That's also gay, dude.
We both had like
also like that you're pen pals and you can't. And
I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend at the time as well, but it wasn't going well, and so I didn't care.
No way, that's crazy.
So and then. I fucking don't know why I did this. When I was going out with someone else, and it was coming to an end, but this is not why I did this. I moved in with the friend that I'd been having sex with.
What do you mean you don't know why you did it?
Because I should have known better. And she was getting.
You did know better.
I did know better. But
and
like
you
I
moved
thought,
in with the
I
person you wanted to have sex with.
I know, but like I didn't. Like the line is blurry here because I was still with my other girlfriend. I needed to move back to Glasgow. They needed to get. Wait.
You had another girlfriend?
I did, but like, I didn't cheat on her. I did end that relationship was coming to an end.
Okay. Catch me up on the timeline here. Also, no judgment.
Right.
I've made every mistake in the book.
Oh, I mean, me too. Like me too.
When you're young, whatever. So you had a boyfriend.
I had a boy,
and then you had a girl on the side.
That was sort of 2006. Cut to 2012. I've now got we're cutting out me starting to have girlfriends. Like I'm on my second girlfriend. She was lovely, but it was dying a death as a relationship.
Sure.
I needed to move back to Glasgow, and my friend who I'd first had sex with as a student, and then again in 2006, was about to get married to a man, and they were like trying to save money, and they had a spare room, and they asked me, did I want to move in?
Shut up.
So I moved in.
I'm never having anyone under 40 on the podcast again. I want the fucking closeted mess.
Well, so like my relationship with my girlfriend died because we were long distance.
Sure.
It was coming to an end anyway, and it was sad, but that was over. And then, very sadly, my friend who had I don't want to name her.
We can give her a fake name.
Let's call her Dolores, right? Okay.
The sexiest name that you could have chosen.
Dolores was getting married, and then one day,
if you didn't know that everyone in this story was over 65, Dolores, go on.
I don't actually know anyone called Dolores. Don't know why I said that. It was movie Y. So Dolores was going to be getting married, but her shitty asshole fiance just left one day.
Oh, he left.
He just left.
That's convenient for you.
Well, it turned out to be that. No, that's not what happened. I mean, I felt like she was devastated, and I was single, and we were friends, and she just needed to feel wanted, and so
who doesn't want to feel wanted by their friend?
Well, I'm not going to string this out, but like we had secretly like lived together and were having sex for about 9 months while her life was falling apart. Like
you had to be there.
I had to be there.
Her life was falling apart, and you caught her in your pussy.
Well, and we also had 2 other flatmates, and they didn't know. Like we were hiding it from them. It was just.
I will say today they would know.
Yeah, they probably did know.
Retrospectively, straight people, and even today, straight people, if you tell them you're straight, it doesn't matter what level of gay shit you do.
Yeah.
They just really take your word for it.
Yeah.
I don't understand how straight people miss the signs.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, the thing is that like after 2006, I actually came out as a lesbian and had a couple of girlfriends and was open to falling in love with women. I remember like the thing that kind of led to me pursuing women for a relationship was I just had this feeling like if I fall in love with a woman, I won't resist it. Like I think I'd been resisting it for some reason, for some fucking no good reason.
Resist falling in love, or specifically resist having sex with women?
No, I mean I wasn't resisting having sex with them, but I was like,
no, we learned that.
Like
yes,
getting into like, and then so I was now open to falling in love. So when
so the feeling of falling in love, you were okay with women as opposed with men. You felt shut down.
The men had just been a disaster. Like they were, I don't know what happened. I can't. Yeah, it's bleak to think about it now. Like
how old were you when you came out?
29.
29.
So when it was 2012 and Dolores' fucking shitty fiance, he was a bastard. He was awful. Walked out on her. I was open to falling in love with women, and so this time I fell in love with her, and it was like a disaster because she was having she was in her life was a catastrophe.
You shouldn't generally fall in love with people who've just gotten out of a
no, and of course it was a secret. So she was like telling everyone about how lonely she was and how rejected she feels, and how everything was about him. So I found that really difficult, and we kept it a secret. And eventually, when she told her friends, and I was like dying because I knew I was in trouble. Like this could never. She wasn't open to it, and it was a bad time. But I was I'd chucked myself into the abyss, and so I was miserable. And everyone sympathized with me and thought that she was a cunt for keeping this going with me when she knew I was in love with her. I tried to move out and it didn't work. Like I tried to move out for months and months. Eventually I did move out and it carried on anyway. But in hindsight, like, and so we're still friends. Amazingly, we're still friends. Like, but she's like, not like we drew a line under it. Like 2 years later, we drew a line under it in 2014, like forever. Like, and thank fuck. But only, and we, you know, I see her every now and again, and she's got a wonderful husband, and he is fucking amazing. Yeah, I mean, like he is
She's
one of the best people.
dating men.
Well, yeah, she's married. She's like, and she's got 3 kids.
Did she date any other women?
No, I don't think so. No. So I don't know what that really was, but anyway.
Well, I'd like to meet her.
But like I realized that like it was me who was a bad friend for like sleeping with her when she'd just been jilted, when like her man had just left her. I mean, I'd got all the sympathy for years, and I felt really sorry for myself as well.
No, I don't think you were a bad. I understand what you're saying, because you feel like you took advantage of her during a weak time. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? It just goes to show when you keep something a secret and you don't discuss it, and it's like, it's unhealthy.
It snowballs.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the things about talking about relationships that I love is the mess. Because if you have been in a bad relationship, you know both parties are doing regrettable things all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And outside of abuse, you know, which is inexcusable, you have just general mess. And inviting a woman you've slept with without telling your fiance that.
He knew though. He knew that had happened between us. And he wasn't bothered about it.
Well,
like,
fuck
I don't
him.
think. Yeah.
That's invalidating. I want you to be a little bothered.
I think the reason I cried, just to circle back to your show, was because I felt like I wasn't valid at all. Like my feelings for her and like my part, like I wasn't given my place at any point. And she actually said that. She's like, I need to give you your place. So she eventually told her friends what had been going on, and they were raging with her for like leading me on.
Look.
And that wasn't strictly speaking fair, because
she was going to sleep with someone after her fiance broke up with her.
Yeah.
Or she broke up with her fiance.
Yeah.
She's a person with agency.
Totally. This was 12 years ago. Like I'm over it now.
I'm just saying, I did cry. I don't think that you did anything wrong explicitly.
Thank you.
I think you did something human and
this
normal.
This is what I've come here for.
Just to be validated.
Yeah.
No, I think many queer women, especially, this is probably true for queer men, anybody queer, you feel when you have those secret relationships, or when something breaks up and maybe they never have another queer relationship, and you're watching this person sort of walk away, not just from you, but from an identity or an entire life experience.
Yeah.
You feel like, was that real? You know?
Yeah. Totally. That whole thing of like, is it real for them? And what's amazing about my wife is that like she like kisses me in front of her neighbors, and like is you know, she lives in like we live in a kind of suburban, it's a bit like Wisteria Lane, Desperate Housewives. I know, like that's a reference I do know. It's like that, and it's kind of, you know, it's not like trendy city like queer vibes. But she's like so proud to be with me,
isn't it?
And that's like that you don't, you know, there's a lot of I don't know.
Isn't it crazy that there's this like little kid that lives inside of you that even now today, 2024, feels that sense of shame, but also that sense of, oh, you really love me.
Yeah.
You're doing this because you really love me.
Yeah. It's weird that I've wondered about this, because like I'm so proud to be seen with my girlfriend as well, and I will kiss her in public and hold her hand. There's a tiny part of me is nervous about that.
Me too.
And about like I just feel vulnerable.
Even in New York City, me and my girlfriend walking around, if I think there will always be a little part of me that feels slightly, just ever so slightly uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Like with my girlfriend, I've told this story on the podcast before, but we had to hitchhike when we were in Utah. I don't know if you know about Utah. It's
no.
a place.
I know about it. Yeah.
Okay. So in Utah, it's not exactly everywhere's a mix in America, but most places. But we were hitchhiking and we got in the car and they were like, how do you two know each other?
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately was like, oh no, we're in Utah. Are these Mormons? What's going to happen? And my girlfriend just instantly, oh, we're dating.
Mm-hmm.
She's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I can't, she's femme.
Yeah.
Like she's a little bit of a Disney princess vibe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'll show you a picture of her. She's perfect. And maybe because she's passed as heterosexual for so long, maybe because she came out much later than I did, and so she didn't experience as much homophobia.
Mm-hmm.
She's bisexual, so that also kind of pushed things down the road a little bit. But like, she's so brave.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that level of bravery.
Mm-hmm.
And am I gonna cry, dude?
I think I get that.
Like, the fact that I'm with someone who effortlessly and immediately is like, this is my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. I totally relate to that. And it gives, it's inspiring. You kind of go, thank you, and also like the way that you get welcomed into someone else's family.
Their family. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
the fact she told her family immediately about me.
Yeah, but that's not what happened.
And they accepted me immediately. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
But that's not what happened to you before, like with the other. And I think that's like, and so the girl I was breaking up, like just to kind of not confuse things, I said I was breaking up with a girl when I moved in with Dolores. Like it was a girl I was going out with and it wasn't going well. Like she never introduced me to her family, and like her mum found out about me and said, don't ever tell your dad. And she was a lovely girl, but she was terrified of them. And
of course and
I was really angry and I was really hurt, and I had to do things like I'd get invited up to visit and to her flat, her apartment in Aberdeen, and she's not going to listen to this.
Plenty of lesbians.
I don't give a fuck,
Aberdeen.
Actually, like, but because she's married now and everyone knows, and it's like, and it's that I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her because she's fucking lovely. But
is she out of the closet now?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
married,
great.
And like, I mean, I don't keep in touch with her anymore, but I'm really fond of her. She's a great girl, but she was too scared to tell her her dad about me or whatever, and he came round to the house, and I got this phone call, and she was like, you need to get out, he's going to be there in like 20 minutes. And I was in my pajamas and I was working and paper everywhere, and I was like, fucking what? And just having to throw all my stuff into a cupboard and like put clothes on and pace around while this man was like, I was just remember stomping around so angry, thinking never again am I going to let anyone let me feel like this. And I understood it, but it's like, you don't know me yet, and yet I'm not valid, I'm not acceptable, and that runs deep. So I think that kind of like that, I think that's what made me cry during your show was that, and also maybe the confusion of what went on with Dolores and all that, and that never being a real thing. Like it, because I'm a woman, like by dint of being female or by being a woman, that was why there was no proper, like I was invalidated. And that, so when someone's so easy with claiming you as their girlfriend, it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And it's funny because like she's so brave. My girlfriend's so brave. I don't know that anyone would know just because of the way she looks, how incredibly confident she is. But I don't know, she's braver than I am about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very grateful to her. Wow, this like got really deep now, didn't it?
Did get deep. Oh, I'm
What are
sorry.
your plays about?
Oh, my plays.
Are they about stuff like this?
Usually about it's like sometimes other people tell you, or like look back at them, and I know what I'm kind of always sort of asking, and it's like, how do you live your life fully and then live with yourself, with the concept? What does it take and what does it cost? Like so.
Wow.
It's about people who kind of having to live with things that they've done to other people because they chose life, or like they chose experience. Like that's a big theme that's sort of in lots of my plays.
I love that.
And actually I think is the thing that, like, I've written quite a lot of original plays. The last couple of years I've done a few adaptations, and the big one was Anna Karenina, and that was what drew me to that. I was like, what, if you just decide to fucking throw your life up and live your life as truly and as fully as possible.
I'm not a proper writer the way that you are.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Like that. I mean, like it's storytelling, and that was an exquisite piece of storytelling. Like, your stand-up. You didn't roast anyone. Like, I mean, we were expecting, like, to get slagged rotten.
Maybe next year I'll do that. But I think in writing it and in what I wrote for my show, and something that I watched all these plays. I went and watched a lot of plays, and I watched a lot of solo shows, and I was really thinking about themes in a way that I had never really thought about as a stand-up. As a stand-up, you're so micro.
Yeah.
It is a micro craft.
Yeah.
It is, and I love that about stand-up. I love that it's like a half second on the pause, or emphasizing this syllable and not this syllable. It's like you can really get in there. Word choice is like that you learn word choice almost immediately, and that is even micro. You learn these little formulas, but themes are not something that we really look at in stand-up as much. So in looking at themes, like hearing you talk about, like, that's what I love when I watch films, when I watch plays, and I wonder how artists come to these themes and decide these themes are important to them. Because that's not something that I've ever, as an artist, been drawn to. I guess I'm just drawn to making people laugh.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. But
the payoff when you tell a good story, and like you draw us into this relationship with your therapist, which seemed like it was everything, and what that was, and it's I mean, you get so much more impact from the laugh and all the feels.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that, because I just watched you not on YouTube,
TikTok
so
or something.
old. I don't have TikTok. I think
Instagram?
it's the fucking devil's work. No offense if it's your main
You're
thing.
right.
Like, I think it's
I'm in bed with the devil. I know that.
On Instagram. Like, no, I mean, I just have I'm scared of what it like.
It's bad.
It's
bad.
another vortex, and yeah. But
Where
anyway.
can people consume your work or keep up with you?
Oh, well, so I'm going to be in a TV show called Shetland. Have you heard of this? I don't know.
I looked it up when I was researching.
It's a crime drama. I don't know. I think they do sell it to America.
Are you playing a cop?
No, I'm not.
Are you playing a lesbian?
No, I'm not. And I can't actually tell you anything else. It is the tightest fucking secrecy. Like, it's the strictest NDA I've ever signed.
Beautiful.
Because it's like one of those like event whodunit crime dramas.
Got it.
It's like they
Where
drop
is
one
it?
episode a week. Fuck. It's going to be
BBC?
on BBC. Yeah, it'll be
Beautiful.
on BBC One. I think starting in October.
Perfect.
So I'm doing that, and I've got like 3 pieces of writing that are commissioned and that are in development, none of which are like programmed yet, so I can't say what they are. So that's shit. I mean, why did I even mention it? But
maybe keep up with you on your Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. Oh God.
Do you have a newsletter?
I send out a handwritten, photocopied. I'll send you a fax. No.
Lesley Hart, thank you so much. We will find a way.
Yeah,
to get
Twitter, X. I mean, I hate X. I'm in transition with social media, but I've got a private Instagram account. And I'm on Facebook.
Before this episode is released, I will find a way to get this information.
I'm on X. That's what I kind of like. I'll put stuff out on that. Oh my God, I'm rubbish at this. Like, you've given me a kick up the arse. I need to get better at the socials.
Well, you've started today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
this was
you.
delightful. I loved having gay sex with
delightful.
you.
Oh my God, it was amazing. The fucking earth moved. Is still moving.
I have to get on stage.
You do, yeah. And I'm late for my girlfriend. We're supposed to be having dinner 10 minutes ago. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys for listening. Wasn't Lesley great? I absolutely love her. Patreon.com/WHGS to support this pod. And come and see me on tour. Get a text when I'm in your city, ashleygavin.com. And then Gay Thought. Alex on the couch. Is that one on? Alex is going to read a joke about butt sex, which counts as my Gay Thought this week.
My dad is a doctor, so he would often treat us at home. What a weird prostate exam.
Please donate to the Patreon so I can get a better editor and assistant. Thank you, you guys. Have a great week.